Hey, up in your blues game, number 10. So we went through a lot of different ideas, right, up to this point. So I really can't emphasize enough how important it is that you take these ideas and you do it in different keys with different tempos, okay? Because until you do that, there's no guarantee it's ever going to show up in your playing any of these ideas that we worked on. So um, today we're just going to do it with the slow blues in C, different key. It's got the quick change because it's a slow blues. And we're going to try to play all of my ideas up to this point in the slow blues. Now, it's very different because with the slow tempo, there's not a lot you can do with just eighth notes, right? So with slow blues, you're going to have more of a floaty kind of rhythm. You have a lot more time and space to express yourself. And so it's really a different kind of thing. And that's why it's important to try these licks in a slower blues and see how they're going to line up. All right, so let's give that a shot, okay? I recorded an entire video, and I was editing it, and I was listening to it and watching myself teach it, and I realized that I'd be doing everybody a great disservice if I didn't explain things a little better. So I'm like, I had to like add in a section here after the fact. All right, so this is a different place and a different time. Anyways, so the whole point of this lesson is that you take those previous 9 ideas and you try to incorporate them into like a different key and a different tempo blues, right? And that's a way of testing yourself to see if you can fit it into different situations. And that's the real trick to this whole thing, because if you can't do that, then it really doesn't do any good to learn these ideas, right? So that's what that lesson is about. So I did a demo at the end, and I tried to play all the licks that we've been working on over the the last 9 of these, right? And I did it pretty successfully, but I tried to transcribe them. I was going to put them in the video, and the timing is just so crazy and floaty that I don't think anybody could read it, and it's really hard for me to even transcribe my own licks. So that's why I decided that I would sort of show you what I did before you listen to it, even though it's after the fact, right? So the point here really is that the slow blues, it gives you so much time to push and pull these licks in and out of time that it's almost impossible to do the same thing twice, and it's really almost impossible to figure out exactly rhythmically what I'm doing at any one time, and I can't do it twice. So I decided that I would just show you what I do, and then you would try to fit them in the way that the best that you can, right? And that's sort of the whole point of this lesson anyway. So in the beginning, let's see. The first thing I did was, remember we're in the C, right? The first thing I did is I just did this, the real. Let me get my pick here. I did like the real standard B.B. King thing. I just went like this. I'm bending up to E because it's an E7. It's got an E in it. And then for the 4 chord, I bend up to the E flat because that's in the 4 chord, right? And then I'd slide up and use that same shape that we did in Upping Your Blues Game 2, right? So I'm going to transcribe them to be up here somewhere. It's not in the same exact time. It's just pretty much writing it as straight as I can, and you have to take the liberties of how to fix it, okay? That's like the whole point here, all right? So, but this one is easy enough. So the next one is where it gets a little tricky, because this is where I go into the pivot arpeggio one, right? So I think that's the last one, where we're in F. So if we were playing like a real fast blues, I would just play it all as 8th notes, right? And that's sort of what I did, but it's stretched out so much that I do a lot of 16th notes in a kind of different kind of rhythmic thing. So just something like that. I don't really know, but this in itself is a great way to practice, because you could try to put these pivot arpeggios over the whole thing as much as you can. It wouldn't be a good blues, but it helps get it into your playing, right? So let's check that out.
I'm just practicing here, trying to fit these things in the best that I can, you know. And you see how I'm pushing it and I'm pulling it to make it work, but I'm still, at least when the chord changes, I'm playing right on the beat when it changes, okay? And that's like the important part. So that's what I did in the demo. So check that out, all right? So anyways, other than that, the other thing that I played and I thought was a cool idea that would not transcribe, right, because the rhythm is so weird what I did, is for the 5 and the 4 for the turnaround, right? And then for the 1 chord, right? So look what I did. Remember, we have 4 arpeggios, right? So what I did here is I used as many as I could. So let's see. I went like this. So remember for the 5 chord, remember 5 chord is G7, right? G7, B minor 7 flat 5, D minor 7, and F major 7. Right? And that's like a G chord, right? 4 chord, I went up A minor 7 flat 5. And then when the C chord comes around, I went. That's the B flat major 7, right? That's just, you know, I'm bending up to B and then playing G. So this is like, it's like playing the 5 chord, right? So, right? Now, is this the same exact time that I played on the demo? It definitely isn't. So again, these are the things that you want to test out, right? So you see if you can, you know, do this kind of thing over the chord changes, right? So let's see what we got here. Other than that, the other thing that I did, and this is a lot easier to hear, I did some of those licks from the last one, I think it was. And then when the 1 chord came around again, I did it, but this time adding the pivot. So, but that's easier to hear. But let me play it anyways. All right, so I just wanted to make it easier to like play them, right? Because if you try to copy me, it's a little bit crazy.